Had a lot of requests for a little update on my live sound tone and also what I do to record. So this is a setup that I used recently for the song Streets of Nashville. And whenever I record, I try to only have the pedals in the chain that I'm going to be using, just to keep all the extra noise out of the signal that I can and keep the tone as true as possible. So this right here was exactly what I had plugged in for the recording process. Okay, so I'll just explain. I really want to talk about this Keeley tone workstation the most, which is a really cool pedal that I just got. It combines the Keeley compressor with a clean boost that also has an option for some really nice distortion or overdrive, and then it's got, you know, an overdrive option as well on the far left.
In the streets of Nashville, lit up like battlefield, where there's not much left under neon lights, but a shot of hearts revealed. And the bartender stares, says, "No, you're broken."
Here's what this is sounding like with nothing on. All right, now let's just kick on the compression. All right, so a real nice sound on the compressor. A couple cool features here. Obviously, the level is just going to be, you know, how much signal you're giving it. And I try to, when it's off, just have a little bit higher volume when to click it on. So I've got that at about 1 o'clock. The blend is a really cool feature. All the way to the left, it's just a straight compressor, just like a normal compressor pedal. But once you blend in to the right, you're blending in your non-compressed signal, your dry signal. And I think I had it around here. It's just kind of a cool option. All the way to the right is a 50-50 blend. And I've got this annoying hum going on right now, so I gotta point my guitar in the right direction. All right, and then this right here, you got standard, which is on the bottom. It says stock, and then flipping it up is a treble boost. So I'm a Tele guy. I mostly play Telecasters, but sometimes, you know, I've got my Les Paul set up for slide. I've got a Gretsch that I like to play a lot, and for those, you might want that treble boost on any of your pickup options, just to kind of have it cut through a little bit more. On a Tele, I wouldn't use that if I was on my bridge pickup, because it's, you know, I'll show you. I mean, it's real trebly already. But I'm on my neck pickup for Streets of Nashville, so when I'm doing that, then it's nice to have that treble boost. So that's, you know, another option within that compressor. And the sustain obviously is just how much, you know, crunch or how much compression you want to give it. This thing gets, you can go crazy with this thing. The sweet spot there. All right, so, you know, this is, even just that is a really cool pedal, you know, all by itself. Then this is another cool one. I'm going to start down here, and this is, when you have it down, it's just a clean boost. And so let's start here and see what kind of difference we get. All right, so we'd want a little bit more than that. Let's try up here, about 1 o'clock. This is the only knob that functions when it's set to the clean boost. All right, there you go. So you're picking along. Time to take a solo. You click it on, you just give yourself a little boost. If you got a tube amp like this Fox AC15 I'm using, oftentimes that's going to give you enough to push it just a little bit and get a little extra gain on there too. If you flip it up, you get this 1962 is what he calls it. It turns into an overdrive pedal basically, it gets pretty rocking. But let's set this back to where I had it before. We'll keep the tone right up in the middle for now. So let's give it a little more. And I mean, let's turn the gain all the way up. Get a little feel for it. All right, so that one, that gets pretty gnarly in and of itself, all right? Yet another option we have here is just his overdrive pedal. I believe it's called the Red Dirt Drive. And, click that on. Okay, this is with this flipped up, which gives it even more drive. I mean, I'll just do this just to show you. This thing gets pretty gnarly. Okay, but you don't have to have it that gnarly. You flip it back down there and you're on the kind of less driven option, and you can get kind of a nice overdrive sound too with this puppy. And then one thing you could do, which I would probably use this thing for, is you just have this going on as maybe that's your standard bass tone for a song. But you need to take a solo. Let's just use the clean boost here. So you're rocking along. Solo time. So there's your basic overview. It's a lot cheaper than buying all three of these pedals by themselves. And yeah, it's just a really cool option to add to the board. So another thing that I'll talk about is, see the pedals all the way up on the top. Depending on the gig I'm playing, any one of those could be in the mix. I have several more that sometimes might be called for, but those are kind of the main ones that might make it to the board for a certain gig or a certain song. I've got the Vox Y, I've got a couple different Cusack screamers there, a Cusack TME delay. The Full Drive by Full Tone, that's a really cool pedal. That's got a lot of options for overdrive and distortion. Mr. Fasadelic is kind of a boutique pedal I got in Nashville at Rock Block before. I think that's out of business now, but it's a really cool kind of boutique phaser pedal. And then you got the classic from Boss, the Chorus CE2, which I love. And the MXR will probably never see the light of day again now that I got this tone workstation, but you never know. That was on my board for a long time. All right, let's quickly buzz through some of these other things we got going here. Let's get back to a reasonable tone here. I'll try this. That's pretty close to how I started for Streets in Nashville. And then this is called the Boss DD500. Really powerful delay pedal. You got all sorts of different options all around here. It's kind of like the upgrade. I had a DD20 on my board for a long time, and this is just kind of the upgraded version. You can really do a whole lot. You can get a lot of different types of delay, a lot of different sounds, and you can dial in here. You can change the time, the value, or where are we at? Okay, so this is changing the note. You can manually set it here to a quarter note triplet, and then I could go back and you can dial in the exact beats per minute if you're recording and you know this is exactly what the beats per minute are, and then your delay lines up perfectly, just like in Logic Pro if you use their delay and synced it up, right? Or you can use the tap right here and tap your delay. It has options to save banks if you like something. You can save all sorts of different sounds, all sorts of different settings, so you can just click it on real fast in a live situation. So this is kind of, you just add that in and we're getting about here.
Wandering down 4th Street, a little more than a smile to my name. Small town boy from the middle of nowhere, in a big old place. The streets look like runways, lined with buildings God made.
All right, now I'm gonna sprinkle in some of this Blue Sky. It's a Strymon Blue Sky. And I had it on the Shimmer for this one. This is a really nice reverb pedal. I love this reverb, and it's got one that's even more in depth that's called the Big Sky, which one day I'll probably end up grabbing just because I like this brand a lot. And yeah, so again, you've got plate reverb, you've got room reverb, and spring reverb, all sorts of different options. I've got this on plate reverb right now, and then you've got normal mod, which is going to modulate the reverb a little bit, and a Shimmer, which is what I was kind of going for on the Streets in Nashville. So now we add that in, and you got all right, so now we're getting close. And then I had the treble in here. I had it on pretty light. Those knobs might have way lighter than that. I keep the level about up to the top, and probably had it about there. It wasn't real noticeable in the tone. Okay, so you're getting the idea. And then I used a lot of volume swells. You guys know how a volume pedal works, right? That's just that's the Ernie Ball volume pedal junior, and it's been with me for a long, long time. Just like that Vox Watts. I mean, we're talking 15, 20 years on those pedals probably, and never had a problem with either of them. Just kind of workhorses, tanks. So anyway, y'all, let's take a quick peek over at, I'll show you the settings on the amp to end here. And I was using this guitar This is my Matney Bender Telecaster style guitar on the neck pickup, and those are Fender Custom Shops noiseless pickups. Okay, and then we're gonna quick show you the back of the amp here. So we go over here, and here is the settings on the amp. So I'm using here, I love this amp. This is one of my favorites I've ever owned. You've got a pentode and a triode option, which controls, how fast it's breaking up and the power that you're getting out of it. And I love using this bank right here, and I just, you can see the volume's hardly up, and it's loud, and it's a 15 watt. And then I keep my treble, because I'm playing the telly, which is bright. I keep that at about 40%, and I got the bass up at about 60. And then this amp is pretty trebly anyway. With the Telecaster, I do use the tone cut. This is cutting all the treble out. This is none of it out. And so I keep it about there, or wherever I had it. Kind of season that to taste, depending on what I got going with my pedals. So anyway, there's a kind of updated look at what I've got going on for my live and recorded tone. Thanks for watching.
And survive when the streets of Nashville come alive. When the streets of Nashville